Welcome to part 3. In the last episode, I discussed the importance of finding below market value deals. A genuine BMV deal comes with instant equity. Second, when you buy at a genuine discount, you can refinance and recoup most, if not all, of your capital. Where to find them if they're not on Rightmove and not in auctions, and how you can refinance and recycle your capital to build your portfolio much faster. Finding BMV deals is one thing, but where do you find the capital to buy them? In this episode, we're going to tackle two big questions. What's the secret behind large portfolio landlords being able to finance tens, if not hundreds of properties? And do you even need to own that many properties to achieve financial freedom? You're about to find out. Buckle up, I'm going to show you the money. Let's start from the beginning. To buy a property worth £200,000, you need 25% deposit, that's £50,000. If you're starting with zero capital and you consistently put aside £1,000 a month from your salary, it would take you 50 months, roughly 4 years, just to save that deposit. By then, that same property will probably have gone up by 30 or even 40%. Again, the numbers don't add up. If you already have the capital ready and you buy this property at a sufficient discount, then through refinancing, you can recoup most, if not all, of your capital. But refinancing takes time, typically around 6 months. So what do you do in the meantime? When you're finding all these below market value deals off market, do you just wait around? No, you maximize every opportunity with every deal you find. I'm going to show you two powerful ways to do this. First, you're not going to buy every single deal that comes your way. You should cherry pick the best ones that fit your criteria and you buy only those. What about the rest? You flip them and generate cash. This is where you need to think differently from most investors. Most investors focus only on the 1 or 2 deals they want to buy, but you can often make more money from the deals that you don't buy by flipping them to other investors. And if you don't know what flipping means, it simply means selling a deal on to someone else for a profit. You might have watched TV shows like Property Ladder or Homes Under the Hammer, where people buy rundown houses, renovate them and try to make a profit. But reality is very different. When you buy a rundown property to renovate, you need a huge amount of cash for the purchase, the refurb, and the time it takes to finish the project. Then you're left with the uncertainty of selling it through an agent. Would it fetch a price you need to make a profit? How long would it take to sell? If you're using a bridging loan, interest is building up every month until you exit. It's a lot of resources for a potential reward. So how do you do it differently? Some people turn to deal sourcing. A deal sourcer doesn't buy the property. They simply find a deal and earn a finder's fee, typically 1 to 2% of the purchase price. This is attractive to people with limited capital, but there are problems. Most deal sourcers struggle to find deals. They're going to estate agents and auctions, exactly where everyone else goes. They're scraping from the bottom of the barrel. I know one sourcer who spent 6 months trying to find deals and earned only £2,000. Second, because these deals are open to everyone, sourcers have no exclusivity. Anyone can walk in and offer a higher price and they lose the deal. Finally, deal sourcers are treated like estate agents, which means they must be regulated. There are almost a dozen compliance rules, including anti-money laundering, that they must follow, plus fees to pay. Again, a lot of work for little reward. What I'm about to show you flips the industry on its head. It allows you to source deals and make far more money without being regulated as an agent. And this is what I've been doing for 20 years and what all my clients now do as well. Here's the twist. You don't buy houses to flip, and you certainly don't position yourself as a middleman earning a commission. Instead, you flip the contracts that control the deals. And this is completely different from flipping houses or acting like glorified estate agent. And it all comes down to finding genuine BMV deals. When you negotiate directly with sellers, your deals are off market. You're already ahead of the curve. Whenever you close a deal with a seller, you secure it with a contract called an exclusivity agreement, or what we call a lockout agreement. This gives you the exclusive right, but not the obligation, to buy the property at an agreed price for a set period, typically 3 months. Once this agreement is signed, the seller can't sell to anyone else. You can even put a restriction on the title to protect your interest. This is similar to how a estate agent gets sellers to sign exclusivity agreements, except this agreement is exclusive to you. Option contracts have been used in property for decades, especially in land and development deals, but very few residential investors even know they exist. Once the lockout is signed, the deal is essentially closed. And this is where the money-making begins. There are two powerful ways to profit. The first is called an assignment. Because the lockout contract is assignable, you can assign your right to buy the property to another investor for an assignment fee. No solicitor needed, just a simple deed of assignment. Because you negotiated a genuine BMV discount, your assignment fee is far higher than 1 or 2% that sources earn. Typically, you can charge 10 to 15% of the discount. For example, if you negotiated a £50,000 discount, your assignment fee should be between £5,000 to £8,000.
So with the first one, we signed the lockout at 178. The property is worth over 230,000. So obviously I've signed the lockout, but I've decided to flip it.
Now, the second method is more advanced, more profitable. It's called back-to-back or double settlement. In a back-to-back, you turn most of the discount that you negotiated into cash. Here's how it works. Your buyers are typically retail buyers like home buyers or first-time buyers, people who are used to seeing inflated prices on Rightmove. Now, when you negotiate a BMV deal, you always start with the RICS valuation, which is often lower than the asking prices. Here's an example. Comparable property on the market is 330,000 and the actual RICS valuation is 300,000, and you negotiate a lockout price of 250,000, and if you sign the deal, you might make 10% of the 50,000 equity, which is 5,000. But instead, you sell the deal to a buyer for £280,000. On completion day, the buyer pays £280,000 into the seller's solicitor's account. But the seller is only expecting £250,000, right? The solicitor will have to transfer the extra £30,000 into your bank account, 6 times more than the assignment fee for a deal that you don't even want. That costs you no money to secure. And here's the best part. If you don't find a buyer in time, you simply hand the property back to the seller. Remember, the lockout gives you the right but not the obligation to buy. So there is zero risk to you. And importantly, this strategy isn't unregulated because there's no risk. It's unregulated because you are the original contracted buyer, not a middleman. You're part of the deal, not brokering it. Now, let's go back to your financial freedom figure in part 1. How many of these deals would you need each year to achieve that? Assignments and back-to-backs are powerful ways to build your capital. One of my clients, Daniel, started 8 years ago with no experience and no capital after leaving the army. In his first year, he did 23 assignment deals. His first back-to-back deal made him £168,919. And today, he has a portfolio worth over £10 million. Serious portfolio builders flip deals because rental income alone won't cut it. Now let's talk about a different question. What if you want to buy the BMV property yourself, but you don't have the finance? You use OPM, other people's money. Many people have heard of OPM, but few understand it. The most common question I get is, how do I raise money when I have no credibility or track record? Here's the truth. Money follows the deal, not the person. When you have a solid deal, a stacked spreadsheet, all costs calculated, and a lockout agreement proving that the deal is yours, this is your business plan. Investors know that when you refinance, they get the money back with interest more than what they get from the bank. And this is how exactly one of my clients, Oramas, who raised £200,000 cash in his first deal with no prior experience. And many of my clients are doing the same thing every month. Everything starts with finding genuine BMV deals. With the lockout agreement, you can build cash while you also build your portfolio. The end result, you become asset rich and cash rich. In the next and final episode, I'll show you the ultimate method I'm known for, how to acquire properties without mortgage finance and without deposits. You won't want to miss it.